Hi everyone. Thank you all for the birthday wishes. I got so many messages from members of our batch, and so many of you called me to wish me. Thank you all so much. I am told that there were many other messages on the group as well. So thanks to everyone who sent me greetings on my birthday. Much appreciated. Some of you have suggested that I should rejoin the group, and this message is for those of you who made that suggestion. First of all, I sincerely appreciate your having reached out and asked me to rejoin. As many of you probably know, I had left the group earlier as well, and I came back when I was told by some friends that the group had become less political and there was not so much discussion on politics as compared to other groups, and that's why I rejoined the group. Unfortunately, I find that there is still too much politics going on in the group, and that's a subject I want to avoid. I know that for people who are heavily invested emotionally in the topic, it sounds like a very meaningful discussion, but to me, it sounds completely different. Whenever people make the so-called lesser evil argument, to me, what it sounds like is something like this. How can you even think of eating bullshit? Bullshit is so evil. I'd rather eat dog shit. I know that dog shit is not perfect. It has its faults, but it's so much less evil than bullshit. And dogs are so much cuter than bulls anyway. And in the midst of all this, someone else comes in and says, we should not be trapped in this bullshit, dog shit binary. We should look for a third alternative. And we should seriously consider horse shit. That's exactly what it sounds like to me. Different people talking about different kinds of shit to eat. And that's what the lesser evil argument sounds like. And it might even make sense if you had control over the kind of shit that you want to eat or you get to eat. But that's not how it works. The shit that we are all forced to eat is the function of decisions made by millions and millions of strangers who don't know us, who don't care about us, and it's based on their actions that ultimately a certain kind of shit gets forced upon all of us, and we have to eat it whether we like it or not. So how does it make sense to have such heated discussions on the kind of shit that we have to eat when it's not even within our control? How can we take something that is in the hands of millions of strangers and fight tooth and nail over it with our friends? It just doesn't make sense to me. I know that people are very seriously concerned about it, but it's not within our control. And there's always something to outrage about. It happens on a daily basis. Someone somewhere says or does something stupid, and it triggers outrage. I'm sure something or the other is happening right now in the group about which everyone is outraging. 5 years ago also, there must have been something on which everyone was outraging. Today, we don't remember what that was 5 years ago about which we were all so het up. Just like that, 5 years from now, we will not remember what it is that we were outraging about today, because we'll be outraging about something new. And there's a whole industry that is dedicated towards manufacturing and sustaining this outrage. That's what the IT cells of the various political parties are all about. And it happens automatically and unconsciously. We all follow some people on social media, some influencers, some politicians, some journalists. They post something, and we dutifully continue posting what they have posted, as though that is the topic of the day and we are all supposed to outrage about it. And when we do that day after day, our own positions become hardened because of the reiteration and reinforcement. And that leads to hardening of the lines of separation, and the polarization becomes almost irrevocable. And that's something I want to avoid. And my honest feedback is this, that for a bunch of people who are as intelligent, as creative, as talented, and as accomplished as all of you are, the WhatsApp group, the chat on the WhatsApp group has a really low SNR, signal to noise ratio. Very little signal, too much noise. And the noise is almost invariably political in nature. State level politics, national level politics, international politics, global politics, it's all noise. And most of the time, when one is reading what is there on the post, it's just noise, 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 noise. You say, oh, did I miss a little bit of signal over there? You come back, no, still noise, 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 noise. And frankly, I don't want to be spending so much of my time mining for stray nuggets of signal in an unending torrent of noise. And as it always happens in such situations, 80 to 90% of the noise is generated by 5 to 10% of the group. And that's one of the reasons why I suggested that it may be a good idea if we take politics out, and those who are interested, those few people who are interested in politics, have a group of their own where they discuss politics to their heart's content, and the others are spared that discussion. Or we have a separate group which is completely apolitical, in which there is no discussion on politics, and that's also something that is a possibility to consider. Unfortunately, that did not happen, and that's why I left the group. I would never want to interfere with anyone's freedom of speech, but I would definitely like to exercise my own freedom to not listen, right? And I have curated my social media and all the groups of which I am a part, and I have several groups for my several interests, and in all those groups, the conversation sticks to the topic of that group, whether it is jokes and fun, or whether it is quizzes, or whether it's crosswords, or sports, or golf, or bridge. It's all relevant to that topic, and there's very little outside of that topic, and definitely there is no politics. And that suits me fine, because I have really not had any occasion to ever say to myself, my life would have been different if this person had been chief minister, or that person had been prime minister, or someone else had been the president of the United States. It makes no difference to my life. Whatever is good about my life is good despite the government, and whatever pain I have to encounter as a result of the government is the same regardless of which government is in place. The potholes in the roads don't change, the inefficiency in the bureaucracy doesn't change, the corruption doesn't change. So I have very little interaction with government or government departments, and it makes no difference to my life. Ideally, I'd like to be in a situation where I don't even know the name of the chief minister or the prime minister or the president, and it would completely be transparent to me, because it makes absolutely no difference to my life, and that's how I want it to be. So I'm already in touch with so many of you one-on-one, and I'm very happy for all that interaction. If ever a Catch22 light group is formed, which is completely devoid of politics, I'll be very happy to join. Till then, thank you all for your good wishes once again, and look forward to keeping in touch on an individual level. If any of you come to Bangalore, please get in touch, and I wish all of you the very best. Thank you.